to rumble! Dude, we're gonna get cease and desisted. Stop it. I'm not even joking.
Probably true. What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing tonight? We are probably all very, very fucking tired.
Yes, I had to work today.
Ooh.
A little bit. I didn't have to
I'm
work
sitting
today,
here
but I had-
talking and my fucking mic was muted. Thanks, guys, for telling me.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to the Plumes of Hazard.
What's up?
What's up?
After
Hi.
Vape Mania / TVA edition.
Yo, before we move on, Mast, I realized what the intro music sounds like. Like an 80s highlight reel. You know, like Amazing Plays or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's us. Amazing plays.
So that makes the intro music officially lame.
Oh.
That's fine. It goes along with the rest of the
Dick.
show.
I'm joking.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, for anybody who's just tuning in, I am Understudy 77. With me, I have my fellow host.
None of us have our banners up either. Look at that. How professional is that?
We're like, dude, I'm going old school. I'm not doing any fucking picture-in-picture or anything. With me, I have my fellow host, the Angstful Vapor.
There we go. What's up, everybody? I am the Angstful Vapor.
Fubaka.
What's up?
And Mass Blast 09.
Buenas nachos.
Buenos nachos, indeed. I haven't heard that one in a while, Mass. I'm glad to hear that. That's good.
You're welcome.
Thank
Tonight feels like a throwback show. No banners, at least for me. No picture-in-picture. Nothing fancy. We're all tired, so it's just like it used to be.
No, I'm
feeling more tired?
I wasn't tired in the old days because I wasn't working on Mondays.
True.
Ginger Vapes in the chat says, "Let the crucifixions begin." I'm afraid we're all gonna be a little too tired for too much crucifying tonight.
I'm gonna crucify that goddamn hotel, man.
Oh my god! Holy crap!
Yeah,
We'll get there.
Dude, this is my first crucifixion,
I'm ready for it.
and it's a goddamn hotel.
We'll
You roll
do
right
it.
out with it because you're not gonna find any argument about that one here.
Nope, do it.
Do
Should I
it.
just roll with it now?
Yeah,
I absolutely think you should. I will say that the day that I got there, I sat down to lunch and we saw a couple fire trucks roll by.
I just think it would be really terrible to rub crucifixions in people's face without following through.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, I feel like it would be one of those safer later. But I mean, for one, I set off the smoke alarm Thursday in a smoking room.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire department came. Now, while this was when the fire department was coming up, I was going to Angsty's room, who wasn't there.
That's because I was eating, watching the fire truck.
Came back, like just as the fire department and Ankush, my roommate, he was in the room, and I think Sam was there too. They're like, yeah, the fire department came, and they weren't too happy.
So it was really about you taking a dump, not about any vapor.
I hadn't pooped yet.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why when you did, the fire alarm went off.
No, I think I was in my room for no more than 3 hours when the fire alarm went off. Anyway, we were challenging the smoking fee.
The smoking fee was what, $250?
Yeah. Other than that, like my shower drain was slow. The vent wasn't working. The exhaust.
The sheets were terribly scratchy and uncomfortable.
The bed was fantastic though.
What about the fitted sheets that didn't tuck in? They weren't fucking around the damn thing. Every time I sat on it, it pulled them up.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It's really easy for me to like undo covers. I couldn't get those off.
But let me throw this out there though, because all that completely pales in comparison to the fact that I had an absolute fucking blast with you assholes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Crucifixions aside, it was a fantastic weekend. 2 days was not enough. By any means. Like I was Labrat had a great idea. If we had Sunday to chill, without the convention, if we would just have a day, that would have been perfect. And then,
well, that was the problem. Everybody was coming back on Sunday.
And after that, we don't want to fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
Too many days.
But it was absolutely just a phenomenal time.
And it was a weekend that made me feel short because I'm 5'8", and understudy's taller than me. Mass is about the same height as me, so that was okay. I was like hugging people, and I felt like a child.
So the most popular response that I've heard from pictures of us together was, Mast is a lot shorter than I thought.
You know what? I got that. I got that. They thought I was going to be shorter too.
Did you?
Yeah.
But you talk all the time about how tall you are and being big and shit. I guess everybody just thought Mast was just like pretty big.
No, I'm not that big.
We mentioned it in the show. I'm 5'9". I'm not fucking a giant.
I'm not that big. I'm big. I'm relatively tall and wide as hell. I'm not tall big. I'm big.
You got any other interesting news and events, Foob?
Well, you should finish the crucifixion of the damn hotel.
Yeah, well, I'll finish it. No, I'll fucking finish it.
Wait. Kind of related to the hotel, but there was a Narcotics Anonymous convention going on next to Vape Mania.
Same hall, right down the road.
People are walking, back and forth because people were openly carrying alcohol in their hands, like in the elevator, and we shared a lot of elevators with the people there, so it got awkward sometimes.
The fun started, I'd say, about hours before we got there, where Chuff, arrived at the hotel and said, "Holy fuck, the AC's out."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh, no big deal. Is it out in the hotel? What's going on?" People. It was a mess. Some rooms had AC that was working, some didn't. Didn't matter which floor you were in. Our room was fucking 80 degrees, and we're not kidding. I have pictures of the fucking
sweltering.
Thermostat, 80 degrees.
It was fucking hot up there.
Yeah, and so we went and complained, and they were booked up, so there was nowhere else they could put us, and they had a maintenance guy come up and look. And now I wish I would have complained earlier. We just thought the whole AC has been out, so. They'll fix it. But anyways, by later on that night, in just a few hours, they started cooling down, and that was great. And they did compass, and one of the nights, so that worked out great.
The most important part, though, is the fact that it was supposed to be vape friendly until the week beforehand, or like 3 days beforehand, or whatever. And all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, just kidding, some bitches. No vaping anywhere."
Yeah.
Well, it got to a point where they eventually stuck signs outside the doors that said "Vape Free Zone."
Yeah.
That was interesting. That was and they were like brightly colored signs, right? They were like yellow and gray.
I know. Yeah,
they were so 1990s.
Some bitches bright.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was, but I get their little duress thing. I get being pissed. Other than some of the other shit that we've heard,
I don't get when they were up front. The event organizers, Mooch and Freeze, were up front with them 6 months ago.
Yeah.
What happened in Chicago? They said it wasn't going to happen here. They were fine with it, and we checked in on Thursday night, and they were already saying no vaping anywhere before anything had gone off.
Yep.
But too late.
Go ahead.
Too late to book anywhere else. That's the thing that gets me is they waited until 2 or 3 days before that, and there's no way anybody could go anywhere else.
They wanted their cake and they wanted to eat it too, man.
Bunch of shit's what it is.
So we got to hang out the first night with I think one of the awesome people that we met over there. Meeting in person, known him online, but meeting in person. Dale from Axiom.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because he just sent me a message, and I don't know if he's watching or not. But he sent me a message and he said. "Hey, I found the mother lode," and I'm like, "What?" And he sends me this picture of boxes and boxes of gigantic Pop-Tarts, and that's because we went, and this was. I'm very happy that we did this the first night. This is kind of goes along with the crucifixions about nobody anywhere local in the hotel or in the convention center selling water or any drinks, so we found a 24-hour Walgreens and drove through some sketchy places to get there. So I grabbed a box of Pop-Tarts because you never know if breakfast looks like shit and you just want to have a Pop-Tart. You have a fucking Pop-Tart.
I think we were chilling outside when Axiom rolled up. And,
he comes up in this, what was a Navigator, freaking big pimpin'.
Dude, he brought me this beta or he had me try this beta that I stole some, and then I lost it, and then I found it.
I stole his beta bottle.
And I'm thankful because this pomegranate beta that Dale has is fucking phenomenal.
So I grab a box of Pop-Tarts, and it was buy one, get one. So he's up there, he goes, God damn, you got enough Pop-Tarts? I'm like, it's buy one, get one free. Why not? Everyone can have a Pop-Tart, so.
Everyone should have Pop-Tarts.
Absolutely. So.
Before we get too far off the crucifixions, I want to tell a story.
Oh, boy.
Everybody pull up a stool. Pop squat.
I don't have a stage. I'm already sitting, though, so this isn't going to be as cool as the stage story.
Cool use of the loosest possible word.
So our buddy Goss one night comes rolling into the hotel room. It's a funny story, man. Comes rolling into the hotel room. Hey guys, what's up? Hey man, how you doing? Takes one of the cups, the glasses that they give you in the hotel room. Fills it with booze that was in my hotel room. I don't know if it was his or somebody else's.
It was his.
It was his? Okay. Fills it with booze that was in the hotel room and then says, see you later, and leaves with my glass. It took me 2 days to get that glass back. Fucking.
Well, and he rolled in with a bunch of strangers, too. They rolled in with all these bitches on his, like, in tow. It was awesome. I was like, hey, man.
No shit, but he comes in, grabs the glass, then leaves.
What up, Goss? And chat.
Thanks, man. Wanted a drink.
What up, Goss?
To always muted too. You could bring your own pretty much anything. I walked in the convention center with drinks, and the fucking dudes at Adirondack are always awesome to have at cons.
Yeah, Adirondack Dave.
Free water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're always cool at cons.
I told the guys from TVA, and props to them, Freeze and Mooch, for putting all this together, not charging an entry fee at the door, and just. Oh, you want to sign up? Okay, here's your badge, and you go right in. Putting all this together, having to put up with all the shit that was going on there, whether it was, kids trying to sneak in through an open door, to anything. And, great job putting this together. I know this is the first time, and this has been in the making for over a year.
Yeah.
So definitely props to them. And for having us there and allowing us to do a live show. And like I said, I told them, online via message that this was the first time that. Let me mute this faggot. God damn it! Lord, apologize. Bundle of sticks. We could have gone a few shows without it. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
So, anyways, it was great being able to meet and get together with everyone from the hangout.
We were like 30 deep.
30 deep of people that we hung out with pretty much every night for a year.
Oh yeah.
I think it was actually 32 people total.
I don't remember who coined the term, but it wasn't Vape Mania for us. It was the internet IRL.
Yeah.
So Goss is in chat. Goss is watching, and he just says, I found that glass. It was mine. You stole it from me. And then Chuff goes, Goss woke me up Saturday morning to ask if he could shit in my room. That's what I was cracking up about. Because that's funny as shit.
He did.
I must say, having everybody there was great, and being able to do probably something that will go down in the history of ECR and involving the TVA and involving the whole convention. This is probably what won the internet. Me praying to the bass crack. So
Crack-a-fictions.
There you go.
Crack-a-fictions.
Crack-a-fiction.
Absolutely the best photograph taken at con.
I can't believe I missed that.
Absolutely the best photograph taken.
Yes.
Hands down. Hands down.
Unbelievable.
All right. You what else you got, Boo?
Shit, that was one hell of a tangent.
That was a hell of a tangent. But that's okay.
Oh, so we did a live show, and on Friday night.
Yeah.
We did.
the winner of the staff giveaway was announced, and apparently the worst impersonation video won, which was mine. So, kiss my ass.
Congratulations.
This time we learned that our fans feel bad for Fubaka.
They do. They do.
Hashtag white people.
I would vape on it, but I left my Addy at work. The only one I have built to vape on an OKR at the moment, and I don't want.
You can put whatever you want on it. Just dial it down a little bit so you don't tank it out.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Oh.
No, I do have to say though, one of the other best moments was when we all went out to get some pizza, and one person said "oh," and the whole table, the whole way around, just went "oh." On video.
On video, it was
the same time.
Leviosa.
All right, this is
That was great.
that sounds like stereo.
So we did do a live show,
Mm-hmm.
and it is on YouTube for anybody who wants to watch it. If anybody wants to watch it.
God damn.
It's a little cut up.
Just a little.
But it was a good show. We had a lovely, wonderful individual that we all had the chance to meet this weekend, Nick Grim-Green.
Yeah, I ran into him Thursday night when he came in, and he was so confused by the layout of the hotel. I was too when we first got there.
Oh yeah.
But I will say this: that is probably the best laid out convention center / hotel I've ever seen.
I agree.
You go down to a lower level, so you have your lobby, and then you have a lower level, and that lower level has convention rooms, and then a tunnel, underground tunnel that goes to the convention center.
Yeah, like 50 yards. It's like right there.
Well, the one thing that they really need to do though is they need more fucking elevators or better fucking elevators, because that.
Yeah, but you know what? I attribute that to the fact of how many people were there.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were such big conventions going on. I mean,
not like 3,000 people.
Thousands of people.
3,000 people in 2 hotels, all using the same 3
elevators.
And mind you, the same 3 elevators that were built in probably 1970.
If that.
So they're taking their slow ass time. And I mean, it happened to me and Angsty. Some of them, we're waiting for an elevator, and all of a sudden, you see the down arrow pointing down. So I'm like, okay, let's get in that one. We get in it, and it starts going up. What the hell is that?
So somebody said in chat they just watched the live show. They wish they saw more of our humor, but the contest was a lot of fun. So we learned a valuable lesson that I think that doing that shit live on a stage is a lot different than doing that shit here.
Absolutely.
So come Vapor Slam, we will be prepared for that.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. It was a good show though. Overall, it was a good show. Nick was funny as shit. We were kind of mean, but it was
very mean. We were a little mean. We were a little mean to the icicle challengers.
We were a little mean to the dude. I told the guy he was a disgrace to his beard.
No, you called you know who a bitch.
Did I?
Dope.
I may have suggested one of the contest entries' mother has been sleeping with the most of the crowd.
Solo, will you want?
So was I the only one that didn't say something dickish during that? Wow.
You might have been.
Bizarro world.
I know one thing we didn't do. We didn't talk about the rose. Yeah,
that didn't happen at all.
I so had waiting for you guys to fucking drop the rose, and I didn't get to use it. So
it doesn't ever come up unless somebody asks about it.
No,
unless I get like the Stumpy kit. Hey, look, the rose.
Oh God, there it is.
Don't ride the white
rose.
Rose. No, you gotta let it say the horse, and then really late say the rose. That's my favorite part. All right.
The stuff hits like a motherfucker.
Fu, you got anything else on your newsy things?
No, I mean it was a surreal ass experience. It was my first convention. It was very nice. It was one of the nicest experiences I've had in a long time. So
I completely agree. It was great. I mean,
everybody from the Plumes crew that came out and who I saw. I think there was one couple that said what's up to us before we had to go meet.
Yeah.
I remember. I didn't find them that day, so I'm sorry for that.
And for all the fans that we got to meet and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a great part too. You know, people coming up to you saying,
Oh yeah, we took our first fan photos.
We
Right.
also I signed my first autograph, and I learned that I do not have a signature for understudy.
I've never read it.
I know.
I
I
put you up on the spot.
Math? What the fuck am I gonna do?
Dude, but I don't know about you guys, but it was really weird for me being asked to sign something.
Oh yeah,
Very weird.
That's strange.
one dude got
That's
a
big time shit. We don't do that.
Do you
But
remember?
I'll tell you, dude. You know, I said that to Nick when I was talking to him, and he made a good point, even though I think he was trying to be a jackass. Who are we to deny people that desire if they want something signed? And I'm like,
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a question of
Absolutely.
denying it. It's just odd. That's all.
It is.
Yeah.
For me.
There was the one guy who, remember, he's getting our autographs because he's
he's
gonna
getting them engraved on a box.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And it's cool, man. But like, I don't know. I guess
It's
like that whole time, I'm still gonna talk to everybody like I'm just a normal guy.
Yeah, it's just it'll take a while to set in, you know.
Because at the end of the day, we just are just dudes. That's all.
Did you guys see that the news made the news what was it, Channel 3, something like that, Fox?
Like
was down there?
Fox News.
Yeah, and you know, Freeze was worried because a few days before they were trying to, or they had some kind of video that was just horrible about vaping. They just completely turned everything he said around and had some doctor spout some shit. And I told him, I was like, dude, if
Walmadovar
was there, that shit wouldn't happen. So, and I think that's what happened. They, the second video, you know, we have a link to that. We'll post it up later. But they did a really good piece on it, and our boy Scott from DB Liquids got, you know, his 25 seconds of fame in the background.
I told him he should have got a bucket of ice water and taken his shirt off and just, you know.
Should have.
Yeah,
They had some interesting shots in the video.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the guy just set the camera down and forgot that it was recording, so it's people's feet talking about.
Yeah. All right, so I have another crucifixion about the convention, and it has nothing to do with the people that put on the convention at all, and it has to do entirely with parents.
Yeah.
I went over this in my con, like completely just because I saw it and it occurred to me and it pissed me off. So I went over it on the show. The next week, Phil Basardo did the exact same thing on his. He had just been to one and he made the same observation. The short of it is, if you didn't see that episode, is I love vaping. Love it. It helped me get off of smoking. It's one of the best things I've ever done. I believe vaping is exponentially better for you than smoking. I don't think in any way that anybody can say it's perfectly safe. It is harm reduction. That said, children, especially infants, have no place in a vaping convention.
Oh,
that place was foggy as shit.
Dude, I stepped out a few times an hour just to get some air in the lobby.
Yeah, I mean I don't understand how you can, in good conscience, bring children to something like that, if for no other reason, if for absolutely no other reason, it sort of like, I don't know, even if there's basically no nick in the air, even if there's basically nothing around, it's not good for kids. They don't need to be there. Find a babysitter, do something, come out to conventions, and leave your kids somewhere else, man.
How many kids did you see? Because I had my own over/under in my head for how many I see.
I think that's about 3.
I personally saw at least 4 or 5 infants. Like,
there were a few.
not toddlers. I'm talking infants strapped on backs, strapped in Snuggies.
Yeah,
I saw at least 6 or 8 kids under 5 walking around with their parents, you know, with freaking like vendor stickers on and shit. It was ridiculous.
Okay, you definitely saw more than I did.
Well, as a dad, I'm seeing these things, and I've already been to one, and I happened to notice it then. So now I was looking for it, so it was catching my eye. I'm like, what is that? I mean,
yeah, I think the first one we saw was when people were just starting to pile in. You know, I think you, Angsty, we were walking by, and we just look over and we're like, what is that?
Mm-hmm. Slack-jawed parents. That's right. Like Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel. I don't know. That pisses me off. Yeah, parents, be more freaking responsible.
So should cons like stipulate that no kids are allowed? And that
Well, they did.
The thing is
Chris did.
From what Mooch was saying, they can't say that you're not allowed to bring kids to the center, but they very strongly urged parents to not bring their children.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I guess they can't
I believe
legally tell them no.
I know they can't legally say no, but I believe the TVA said, find a babysitter. Do not bring your kids into the con.
But once somebody shows up with a kid, they have to let them in. I think. I just think that's what.
For whatever reason, they said that they couldn't restrict it, which is fine. I understand.
Yeah, that's not on them. That's not on them at all. But God damn it, parents, fucking leave. I mean,
yeah,
people were going outside because they were getting fucking nick highs with the amount of vapor in that room.
Right.
There were 3,000 people. That's no joke.
And I think the biggest thing out of all this is yes, the safety of the kid, but you can't do anything about that because that's the parent's responsibility. Okay, fine. I think the worst part was the news was there. Right. If the news camera would have caught the kid, trying to grab a juice, or the kid, on the mom's backpack or whatever it was, dude, that would have been bad. Or if they would have caught the kids trying to sneak in to, I'm going to get this for my dad without any badges. So I think overall this is a great learning tool for the next one.
Yep.
Because now they know about things that they need to address. So.
So that was one thing. I just want to encourage parents. Joking and sort of kidding, ridicule aside. Leave your kids at home.
Stop being dummies.
What's that?
I said stop being dummies.
Stop being dummies. You've got a kid, take care of them. I've got so something I mentioned at the on the live show, which I'll mention again here in case you haven't had a chance to see it yet because we just posted it. Gplat wire. So a lot of people have been using this thing, ultra low res. Same wraps as a Canthal, but gives you lower resistance, gives you bigger clouds. Lots of cloud chasers guys like it. However, they've always been real sketchy on what it is. They've claimed that it was that's this new special thing that they've made. They refuse to release the MSDS, so nobody knows what's in it. Whatever. But people are still loving it, right? People are still using it. So, as a friend of ours says, the internet abhors a vacuum of information. So, what somebody did on ECR and several other people have done since is they've sent this Gplat off to a metallurgist, and they've done some science wizardry, and
science magic.
Some science magic, shot some X-rays and gamma radiation at it or some shit, and they figured out they came back that at least the sample that they were sent is 317L welding wire. Bum, 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 bum.
And they still dispute that.
Yes. So that's the update that I was going to mention at the end. So just so you know, so it's 317L welding wire, which makes no sense now why they're charging what they do, because that sort of thing is more readily available than people would like to admit at a much cheaper price. The problem is, as this metallurgist has said, because they told him what they were using it for, and they said, okay, well, it's there and it can be used. It has the properties, some of the properties of resistance wire, but it's not necessarily designed, and by not necessarily, it's not designed for that use. It kind of functions like that, but it's not really designed for that. So when all this stuff came out, ostensibly, this is what it looked like from the consumer's standpoint. Their Facebook all of a sudden disappeared. Their website all of a sudden disappeared, and nobody was saying anything to anybody. This happened a couple of days ago. So just recently, and Sean sent me this link earlier to follow this up, because he saw it before I did today. They came out and they released a statement. The Gplat folks released a statement saying, this is totes my goats, not 317L wire, and our Facebook group was removed not because of us and whatever. But they're disputing the fact that it's this other stuff that this metallurgist said it looks like it is to him, but they're still saying nuh-uh. But they still haven't released the MSDS. They still won't release the actual information. They're just totally swearing it's totally not this other stuff, even though I just say otherwise, which is weird to me. Dumb. To me, I'll just keep using Canthal. Cantol's designed for resistance wire.
I told my brother's a welder, and when I told him, I was like, I just told I said they're using 317 now. He's like, what? They're like, they're vaping that? I'm like, well, not that, but they're using that for the coils. He's like, he did the same face that I have a gif of myself on, because he's like, man, that shit stinks when you're welding with it. And I'm like, well, I know. I mean, we're not necessarily welding, but
not getting quite that hot.
Yeah. So
it's a nice natural flavor with whatever you're vaping.
Totally. So we'll see what happens. They're still claiming that it's not that. So at some point, all these questions are either going to go away and people are going to keep using it, or people are going to get fed up with them being so secretive about it, and they're going to either quit using it or demand the MSDS or something. So there's that. The other thing I covered briefly at the on the show the other day was Etsy, which is, if you don't know, a site that small-time hobbyists and small businesses can go on and sell craft things. So there's lots of sewing stuff and whatever, but there's also a pretty sizable group of people that make things like acrylic drip tips and wooden drip tips and wooden mod stands and pouches for your vapes and all this sort of junk. Apparently they updated their terms of service the other day and have now classified anything related to vaping at all, including like drip tips, are now drug paraphernalia.
Oh,
not legal to sell on Etsy. All those guys have been kicked out, and if they don't update their inventory and take away anything about vaping, then they're permanently shut down.
That's ridiculous.
Yay.
It's a bunch of crap.
And we talked about that one in I think a little bit more in depth in the live show too.
Yeah, we did, and we don't have to get into it again if you've watched that. But I still think it's crap. I think that's ridiculous. It's legal everywhere. Why would you possibly do that?
Probably because they got pressure from someone else.
Maybe
they deal with.
Maybe, and I can almost understand restricting like nicotine-bearing things, like selling juice or whatever. I can almost get that, because at least then there's something that you could possibly try to argue that nicotine's not good for you, so you can't sell it.
The way I see it, a company like Etsy would never turn away money, because the more vendors they have, it's good for them, right?
Right.
That's more percentages they're getting. But the way I see it, it's like they were probably like, okay, yeah, you need to stop this. They probably I think it was pressure from someone else. They didn't just up and decide to do it.
Yeah, it's a whole image thing,
Right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It may have even been their merchant or whoever does their processing.
Right. Es posible. So that is that's all I've got actually for the talking points is.
Fair.
Nasty? Or Sean, sorry.
Yeah, Sean can go and then I can go, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So Brian, that's a nice shirt.
Oh yeah, that's true. I paid for my
talking about these
earlier. I paid for my first vaping shirt.
Same here.
And I did ignore his requirement when he sold it to me to
not cut off the sleeves.
Not take the sleeves off. Grim, you do not own me, and I will do what I like.
I would have bought one, but he didn't have any for fat people. So.
So who's selling the shirts? DV Liquids.
Yeah, he hates fat people.
So we bought our first. It was also the first vaping shirt that I have bought. That's not a Plume shirt. I mean, I bought our own shirts, sure, but
that doesn't count.
No, it does not.
You'll see here, somebody's going in dry.
So we picked up the shirts because, and I was asked to kind of keep this a secret until afterward, because before we had a shop and before we had anything, Nick picked up one of our shirts from the site, the Vape Life shirt from where I got it, and it was like a $30 shirt. So he dropped like big bucks to have this shirt to wear at Vape Mania, and he wore it on Friday, and that was really fucking cool of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted one of his shirts as well to kind of share the love a little bit. So
Absolutely.
I picked up one of his.
Could not do that.
Exactly. You can't not. I didn't just buy it because he bought one of our shirts, but it helped.
Well, I mean, he's repping it, man. If he's gonna rep it, if he's gonna rep us, man, I'll rep him all day long. even if I didn't like him.
And I mean, I'll also rep him because he's a fucking nice dude.
He's a good dude.
He's a buddy.
I apologize, Sean. I am going to stop you for just a minute because I have a funny Grim story. I got to share this one. So during our show, we had Grim up on the stage, and we just had him up there to discuss whatever, right, while we were doing our show. So right at the very end of ours, and I was about to launch into my last big point, which went right into your big point. Right when I was doing that, I had my phone out, and since we didn't have laptops, I was taking my show notes on my phone beforehand, and right when I was about to start speaking, he leans over and looks at my phone. And he's like, "Dude, wait, what is that?" Like, I thought he wanted to see my phone case or whatever because people commented a lot. So I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So I slid it over and went on with my thing. Later on, 2 or 3 hours later, when we were done with con, we were back up in our rooms chilling out. I was catching up on my Facebook notifications and all that kind of jazz, and I hit my home button, and this pops up on my screen. He had phone hacked me with this ridiculous face, and I hope this comes across on the screen. But that's got to be done. That was freaking hilarious. It cracked me up for a solid half an hour. Like I was just giggling because he's just freaking a weirdo.
So
I love the guy.
What is amazing about it is when watching the replay, you can see him do it.
Right? Yeah. No. It's not today.
Yeah.
He's over there going.
Yep. It was phenomenal.
I'm totally oblivious, man. I was totally oblivious. It was perfectly done, and he didn't set my background to that. My background's normal, my lock screen one, so I didn't even notice it when I looked at it later. It wasn't until hours later when I saw it. Oh man, hilarious! Well done, sir. That was a fantastic prank.
Agreed. In the spirit of live show pranks, I'll tell a story about one as well. So I'm on stage, and I'm talking, and we're all talking, and next thing you know, fucking Fubaka over here is inflating something that looks a lot like this.
A black screen? Oh, there it is.
There we go. There. So he's inflating something that looks a lot like this. And I will tell you that I owned that shit. I carried an inflatable horse around on that stage till the end of the show.
You absolutely did own it. Props to you for that.
Well,
And then-
Sean didn't want to get booed.
And then I followed Grim Green around and photobombed pictures that he was taking with fans with that horse.
All night long.
Until some fucker at the Karmic Vapor table broke it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get the picture of him in his face going like this.
Oh God, I'll have to share that later. It's upstairs.
Okay.
Unless Chuff is watching and he can find that picture really quick.
He probably can.
So if he sends me a link real quick, I'll come back to that. So somebody had asked for it and they didn't end up getting it, but we all signed it and so did Nick. So that's kind of cool. So that's like our piece of memorabilia, you know.
Angsty, did the wind noise go down? I just put a windscreen on it.
Yeah, man, you're better.
All right.
In more like actual vaping related news, other than my high horse, but my high horse is not dead, so there's that. I just ordered the Science of Vaping dripper. I got to use one today. I enjoy it. It's a pretty cool dripper. Another top air hole like the Hellfire, the UFO that I just got in. A little bigger, a little airier. So that'll be a nice dripper to have as well.
A little airier?
A little airier.
Compared to a Hellfire, what the fuck does that mean? I got to hit it over the weekend.
1.6 maybe?
It's super tight, that dripper. It's it's tighter than a Cardo tank.
It is tighter than a Cardo tank, and I absolutely love it.
Cardo, yeah. But it is a good flavor, right?
Oh, the flavor's phenomenal. And
I don't know if I can get used to frying shit
Things
up.
like sucking on a pencil, man. I didn't like that at all.
Like I said, I considered drilling it out, but I like the flavor a lot, and I'm used to it now, so I don't care.
Yeah. It's just different. Like I'm not one of those cloud chaser guys that has to have like 83 millimeters worth of hole, and just totally open. Like any resistance is bad, but at the same time, that's too tight. I need something between.
And I guess I'm used to it because the Doodle has the same size air hole, right? And I'm used to vaping that, so I vape this pretty much the same way.
Doodle.
It's funny that you bring up the whole, Anksy, cloud chasing guys, because we had one of the cloud chasing guys, Micah, a buddy of ours, and it was interesting. I noticed something. He was there with his girlfriend, and they came over and hung out in one of the rooms that was really nice. The room had like an executive table and nice leather chairs, and we're just hanging out, vaping and stuff. And the the man cannot take a normal rip off his vape.
No.
Right? It's like and the way that what was killing me was that he has such a short. He was trying to keep huge clouds down, but he has such a short inhale and a huge fucking cloud. Now I know why he's sponsored by Bombies. I mean, he's just in there, and then I just turn and it's just this massive cloud coming out. But it wasn't like he was sitting there for 5 minutes, inhaling. And the funniest part was we were at dinner Saturday night, and he wasn't feeling too good, but his girlfriend came out, and she was sitting outside of the room that we were in, and as I'm walking out, I see her exhale this huge cloud. I'm like, dude, this is like he's a great teacher, because she's just. I mean, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So this is the same Micah that's sponsored by Bombies that got up on stage and said, "Don't buy Amerivape."
Yes.
And then I told him
Bombies
on
hat.
stage that he was a terrible Bombies representative and he should be fired.
Absolutely. So, are you
Yeah,
done with your news?
No, I have one more
Okay.
thing. I saved this one for last. And I talked about this a little bit before, and I've been trying to keep quiet on this as to not overwhelm the guy at the moment. But I do want to take a second and talk about what I think is a really special e-juice that just hit the market. And that's our good buddy Labrat. So the dude makes 3 flavors: blueberry crumble, an apple crisp, and like a banana crumble. And they are just all fucking amazing. Like,
There you go.
absolutely fucking amazing. The apple crisp is one of the best dessert vapes I've ever had. I'm so incredibly impressed with this juice. That's all. Like, I brought the Hellfire with me to test juice this weekend, and I didn't put a single other juice in here other than his stuff. Like, I'm just incredibly impressed with his juice.
And this is the same juice that kind of just started blowing up in Maryland.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Because I took it to a meet. And he's had like 3 or 4 wholesale orders, and I mean, it's going to be a big juice. And
Yes, and I'll tell you something. Not to cut you off, but the way that spreads, which is by kind of word of mouth.
Yeah.
You're not having somebody push the juice onto you. You're not seeing it. Like a juice that's well known, where they just you have to buy 100 bottles of each flavor, and you have to have them all over the place, kind of to overwhelm people with it. I think that word of mouth does more than advertising and pushing the juice. When you have a juice that's good, that blows people's expectations about the juice out of the water, I think that's what makes a good juice, and I think he's got it.
Oh, he absolutely does, man. Like, there's a lot of good juice in the world. There is. And, Mark, and I will say this, Mark Labrat has never once asked us to promote his product.
Nope.
I want to promote his product because I think it's phenomenal. And if you like dessert vapes, you will absolutely love his stuff. I will say that it is made for a dripper.
Yes.
Made for higher wattage, and that's where it's best. But it is an absolutely phenomenal product, and I can't speak higher of him in that sense.
They're flavors that are meant to be vape warm. That's just the flavor profile. It's like if you make it cold, it's not as good.
And you can get those at labratliquids.com if anyone is interested in picking some up.
I feel like all pastry flavors should be vape warm. I
agree, but his are just some of the better ones that I've had. Oh. And I mean, I pimped the fuck out of it while I was at con too, because I had it in my dripper, and everybody so far has just absolutely loved this stuff. I'm impressed, and I thought I was not going to be. And
I hope he's ready, because if he's not, you're gonna have another Bombies in our hands with only opening once a week.
Yeah.
So I'm serious. He's got what 3 flavors out right now.
Yep.
And the attention and the want of people to get these juices is there.
Oh yeah.
So
Hashtag kickbacks.
The quality is there.
Yeah.
He legitimately could be, on the level of the next Bombies. Like, his shit's really good.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I got, Matt.
He's a step ahead too, though, because he already's doing this full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. So it took Bombies a little while to wrap up his professional, other professional career.
Right.
Before he's able to devote that kind of time for it. So.
And also to his credit too, Mark, Labrat has also spent a lot of time and money and researching and getting everything just right before opening his mouth and saying, "Here's my juice," which is awesome. Which is awesome. Don't fucking waste people's times with, oh, I need to change this, change that. He used local people and people in the hangout and stuff to just beta the juices, do all that, and then once that's all done, put the flavors out. So kudos to him.
So I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I somehow found a way to end up leaving Vape Mania with his beta that wasn't mine.
And somebody's coming for you now.
Really, really fucking good.
No. The person that beta belonged to probably doesn't want to get in the car for the next God knows how long.
And that's perfect fun. It means I get to keep it.
Yeah. So quickly, because I see the time, in my news, I had with me my 3D printed DNA 30 squonker that everybody got to finger fuck while we were there.
That is a beautiful beast.
I'm gonna say one thing. If you're driving long distances, if you're driving around town, you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to drip and drive. Drive, don't do it. So this guy right here was designed and developed by a few guys over on ECF. The main guy, G-Deal, great guy, has been working on 3 versions of these. I've been following them. Finally got it done. I was able to get it printed by Shapeways, and we'll have on the video description later on the link to the Shapeways and to the forum and stuff like that. This isn't a build that I recommend for novice. If you can solder, that's great, but you got to have the skill and patience to be able to fit plastic pieces together. So as you see it here is the total. Like I said, I also have a magma on top. Yes, that is a bottom fed magma that I converted over. That was
how much in tooling did that cost you?
Yeah, that cost a few 16th inch drill bits and a little bit of sanity and a few hours. So, and I'll explain to you why. But here is the device completely. There's your DNA screen, your up and down buttons. There is a fire button up here. There's 2 versions of this right now. You can get the one with the black ring, and I'll show you why. This covers up a seam, or you can get one that does not have the black ring. You can have this printed in metal. You can have it printed in a bunch of different materials. I chose the plastic blue, and it has a finish. Like for example, I showed it to Vapor Joe, and he said, the finish is kind of like a velvety finish. And a few people actually were like, "Is this wrapped in cloth or something like that?" And that's what it feels like, but it's just plastic. So I'll show you the insides. The top comes off. It comes up like this, and inside you have a upgraded, because the first bottle that they were looking at was a 6 ml. This is actually a 9 ml bottle. And there's your contacts and your bottom fed 510. It uses a old school Fat Daddy Vapes 510. And inside is your other contacts and where your battery goes. So, and you can kind of see in there. This inside white piece is also 3D printed, and it's 3 pieces that layer up on top of each other. Great device. It was
fucking phenomenal.
It was definitely worth. So those guys over at ECF and GDO and I know BAPS had some doing into this too, because they had some betas. Great design, the weight, the feel. You can't get any smaller than this, okay? Because the battery and durability and stuff like that. I dropped it a couple times. The plastic has been holding up pretty good. The only other option that you can do to this is put a clear on it. to protect it, but and then it could kind of show some gouges and stuff, but and take some of the grippiness away. I like that. This thing was just awesome to have on the road. I was on the road for about 10 hours, 10.5 hours to the drive up there and down, and I literally could have one hand on the steering wheel and one hand here and just basically squonk and vape at the same time. No problems whatsoever, no leaking, nothing. So if you're looking to do something, you can, and you want to try, something a little bit challenging. If you have your, patience, try this. You don't have to have a magma. You don't have to convert this. I know Rio is now selling a lot of RDAs that are being bottom fed, so you can just buy it directly. Not have to mess with center pins or any of that shit. So.
Yeah, because the Rio misers are basically like existing clones that they've drilled out and modified to work, right?
Correct. So, but I do know like the Odin and a lot of the newer ones that are coming out, they're retrofitting them and having them bottom fed because that's what people want. So, I love the airflow of the magma, the flavor, and that it was a dripper, and the finishing touch was, making it bottom fed. So, there you go. Next thing I had in the news was we have a friend of ours, and I don't know if he's in chat. I don't think he is. Username Armanush. He just recently finished up a prototype of a OKL 120 watt device here, which is a Wiimote controller. Okay, and I told him, I said, you're gonna get lit up for the jankiness and all the shit on your desk because you don't have, right pictures. He said he didn't care, so there you go. Prove a concept.
Is he looking at himself? Wait, scroll up on that picture.
Look at that battery cover. The better cover.
He's looking at himself.
Yeah, he's looking at himself.
What a narcissistic.
So there you go. Pretty cool little device. I myself have done Wiimotes, DNA 30 Wiimotes before. They're great. And there you have it. And of course, there's I told him, I said, dude, these pictures that you have, and his business here, ISD, We Global now. So, but yeah, so there you have it. It's actually pretty neat. So I told him that I'd give him a shout out on the show, and then he's probably now really going to get us some better pictures because I told him these sucked. So and last but not least, I just wanted to give a shout out to our boy Chris over at Crescent City. He tried to come out to the meet but couldn't, and he's been hitting us up over on Instagram and plugging us and stuff like that. So what up, yo?
Yeah, man.
Oh, Mass, one more thing. Show everybody that thing I fell in love with over the weekend.
Oh, so oh man, I don't have it in here. I have it in my bag.
On the show before.
Yeah. The Joe Lit episode.
Yes.
When he made Mass that little contraption to, plug in your Mass Mod Mini, and this battery pack. This shit is light and it's pretty practical.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that you got to use that, and a lot of other people got to use it walking around a convention where you don't want to carry a bunch of shit with you. You were able to put like a 10 ml bottle on the inside, put the lid in, and then put the batteries on top. And we are working with Joe to try to get a finished pricing and lower pricing on the print. That's a lot of 3D printed material.
Oh yeah.
And once that's completed, they'll be on sale at dbliquids.com. That's dbliquids.com. dbliquids.com.
It's good to bring it up again anyway, because I've even tonight in the IRC, we've had 2 or 3 people just straight up ask, what was that thing that Fu was using? Because I want one.
Right, and also so everybody knows, before I forget, there are still a few limited edition Mass Mods minis in the beautiful blue powder coated
Chevrolet
left. And they're for sale. They will be up for sale, I believe, tomorrow at dbliquids.com. Yes, so there's still some left. I know a lot of people couldn't go, and I said, look, I don't know about holding one. You kind of have to be there to get them. So this is good news. You can still get your hands on it.
I want one that says my name on it.
Yeah.
So another thing
He just laughed. Yeah.
before we move into like our Vape Mania experiences segment, past our own experiences, which we're gonna do, in true Chuff terms, he really came through. And here's the picture of my horse when it died. So there you guys go.
It's not coming up yet. There it is.
That's the guy who killed it. That fucker. He has a shop. I can't remember its name. He's probably happy about that because he's watching right now. And that was my face after he killed the horse. He did look so sad, though, so I suppose I can forgive him.
It was an
Buy my
accident.
card.
He just smacked you with it and it popped.
Well, he didn't smack me with it. He smacked Devin with it.
Oh.
Well, did you see the size of the guy? He just looked at it and the damn horse deflated.
But I was pretty upset about it, as you can clearly see. But that's all. And it's fun because this
Did you read what I just read, Ahmed?
Yeah.
Put that back up, Sean. Put
Why?
it back up for a second. Just put it back up real quick. Just put it
Okay.
up. Just put it up. Because I want to read it. Hang on. Okay. If you look there on the right, when my girlfriend tries to put her finger up my ass during sex.
So I have no control what MG puts next to it. Today's
Holy shit.
Supposedly.
Oh, and let's not forget about the fappening. That's probably where a lot of people are tonight, too.
Probably. That's why we. I'm not gonna go into that though.
Listen, no, I will say this. I was amazed and like giggling like a little kid last night because close to 15% of the internet's fucking traffic was going to the fappening.
We had
I'm not.
Well, there was 15% more traffic than usual. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and 9% going directly to San Fran.
That broke
Where
when
left.
all of us were on the road back.
Yeah.
And I had intermittent service in like Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania.
So somebody in chat said
Oh,
two big
chat.
hairy dudes sat about a pink balloon, and DB's right. Welcome to vape conventions. Speaking of that, and we just got a question in chat let me or not in chat, in a comment from Ray. Any recommendations for fruit vapes besides the Vapor Chef and MBV? So here to tell us about experiences as a vendor at Vape Mania, and the person that I would recommend very strongly for fruit type vapes, we brought in DB Liquids for a return.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up?
What's up, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's great to be back. First off, fuck you, Mast. I brought more.
You forget who you're messing with, aren't you?
That's true. That's true. I brought more fat people shirts than I brought small people shirts
Okay.
because I was going to a vape convention.
1X isn't a fat people shirt, so I don't want
Hey
to hear
man,
it.
I brought the most 3Xs.
Well, I guess it would be for you, right? Because you were, what, extra small in the kids section?
Something like that. But speaking of which, I made sure to rock the shirt. the show.
Yes.
They're nice
Very
shirts.
nice.
Had these
Very
made up. Had a couple of button downs made up for us, but I'm thinking about getting some more button downs made up for sale because they liked the shirts, but they fell in love with the button downs.
Hmm.
And I do also want to say, seriously, coming from me, another juice vendor, go get Labrat's liquids. They're awesome.
Yes.
So,
Your cat disagrees. He was out. Done.
yep. So tell us a little bit about your experience, man. That was your first con as a vendor, like with a booth.
It was. We were really nervous. Preparing, getting there, it was really stressful. It was really overwhelming, but it was a ton of fun. Got to meet a lot of cool people, developed some new wholesale contacts, did a lot of retail sales, got to have dinner with Grim Green. That was fun.
Holy shit, it's Dave Grohl.
Holy shit, it's Dave
I'd be nervous,
Grohl.
too.
Holy shit!
That's good.
I'd be nervous too. Scott Dakota was there.
Yeah, Dakota drove the way up.
DP
Oh.
Liquids, what is that, lube?
Boom, bam, ba-doo-doom, boo, down.
But it was really overwhelming. It was kind of terrifying. I really had no idea what to expect from the vendor side, even having gone to a convention as a consumer. But we were right inside the front doors, and I was lucky enough to be able to choose where we were and who was next to us. So I basically slapped my friends right next to me in booths. I wanted to be right next to Karmic and Adirondack, and we were able to do that, and it was a great time. Got to see a lot of old friends, meet a lot of you assholes in person, make some new friends, and we honestly just had a blast.
Yeah, much hugs were exchanged.
Many hugs were
Pretty good
exchanged.
too, right?
What's that?
You guys did pretty good too. You were like right at the door.
Yeah, we did. Which it had its pros and cons. The pros being we were the first people that they saw, but the cons being that I didn't take into account until after we got in there is people will come up to the booth, they'll try our liquids, they'll look around and see our stuff, and they'll be like, well, I'll be back later, I'm going to go see what else the convention has to offer.
Sure.
And we probably lost out a lot because of that, but we still did great, and we had a fantastic time.
Couple that with how terrible the live entertainment and the Plumes of Hazard were for business.
Oh, yeah. Awful. The monitors being too low and just the PA system being too loud. One of my employees, John, affectionately called Tattoo.
The plane.
The plane.
He does kind of look like him.
Yeah, he really does. He lost his voice the first day because
What do you think?
Yell over the PA system. Exactly. It was loud enough that it was hard for us to talk to people and hear people, which seriously negatively impacted sales.
Yeah, we're assholes. We know.
Yeah. Although, on a positive note, we managed to piss off a company the first day.
Smooth.
And I think you were the one who came up and told me that, Sean?
Who'd we piss off?
I don't even know. It was one of, I told you because it was one of my guys who told me. One of their employees came up, checked us out, bought some bottles of liquid, and then vaped our stuff for the rest of the day. And not their companies.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
And
That's
that
awesome.
really pissed off the owners of that company.
I just got a message from one of my buddies that they don't nothing to do with vaping. They just said, "Raul, is this really you praying to an ass crack? I saw you on Reddit." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's completely unrelated." I'm like, "Holy shit! Yes, that is me."
Was that on the front page?
Apparently, it made it up pretty high for them to see it because
Oh, congratulations!
Fantastic.
Kudos to Freeze for the invitation there, because I told these guys the story. Ooh, look at that sexiness! And I was sitting there, and not only kudos to Freeze, but also to Goss for blessing us with his presence. But I literally was standing there talking to I believe I was talking to Eric and about the mod, and I didn't want to be rude, and Freeze is like, Mass. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? I turn around, and he's like, he just points, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, comedy gold. Well, the comedian that they had there had a camera, so I'm like, I know what to do. So I get down on one knee, and I'm acting like I dropped something, and Goss's wife kind of turns to me, and I'm just acting like I dropped something, so she turns away, and as soon as she turns away, I drop the pose. They take the picture, and I just get back up and go. And it was the hardest thing I had to do that I've had to do for a while without A, crying because it was hilarious, and B, keeping my mouth shut, not saying anything to anyone about it until it magically appeared on Reddit. So, and now I have people outside of the circle, asking me why I'm praying to a butt crack on Reddit. That's me. I did it.
So you had some really cool stuff there, man, because I know we were talking to Vapor Joe, and he picked up one of those sexy little blue minis.
Mm-hmm.
Why did
I had to steal one for myself. I've already got one. I just had to steal one of these for myself.
Did you take any betas or anything like that? How'd that stuff go?
Yeah, we brought our top 5 flavors, and we brought our 3 warriors, and we brought 6 betas with us. 3 of them we had in the nice little red glass bottles that I'm still working on labeling for, that were something that Tattoo made, and those went over surprisingly well. even the people tried what he's been calling Cowboy Killer, and it's a big compliment as a juice maker. I think it's a bigger compliment, at least to me, when somebody says, instead of saying, "Oh man, I love your stuff," but like, "This isn't my speed," or "This isn't my thing," but I can tell that it's a really good liquid. And that's one of the biggest compliments that I can get, because it shows that the juice is a good juice. It's not just suiting that person's interest. So we had 3 of those. We had Cowboy Killer, Royal Jasmine Tea, and Black Blossom Tea, and those went over well. And we had 3 of mine. We had DB Test 2, which I call a moment of insanity because I don't really have a description for the flavor profile. It is what it is. We had Grape Test 3, which went over okay, but a lot of people weren't really into the grape vapes. And we had Cereal Test 1, which got such overwhelming response that I already released it on the site today, called Planet Cracker. And I took up 150 mils with me. 120 mils for people to try, 30 mils for my personal bottle. I left with 0. It's just like Strog. I brought up a crap ton of it and went home with nothing.
So can we drop a hashtag white people after Planet Cracker?
Yeah. You
No.
it.
It's not Planet Cracker hashtag white people.
White people.
It's just Planet hashtag white people.
White people.
Planet hashtag white people.
We got that up for sale right now. The minis are going on sale for tomorrow.
Hold one of those up. Yeah, I know you're using one right now.
Yeah, I took one of the Vape Mania ones for me, even though I've got the first Fender mod, currently known as the Mini, formerly known as something else that I won't say on air.
Very nice. Show the button too, because I saw some people talking about getting a white chuff cap to match.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Planet Cracker is a cereal vape. I mean, I'm not gonna BS you guys. It's basically Fruit Loops, but I'm not gonna call it Fruit Loops because I don't want another cease and desist order. That was fun, wasn't it, man?
I didn't do it.
Just spell it FROOTLEWPS.
Definitely fair. But yeah, man, thank you for. I want to say thanks for jumping in and telling us about the vendor side of things. Anything else you want to say?
There was one other thing, just a small business thing. I got a sale going on till Friday for Labor Day. Labor Day 15 for 15% off your order.
Nice.
When's that run till?
Runs till Friday.
Sweet.
So, dude who wants fruity juices, go to Master Fruity himself.
Dab raspberry mint like.
Come on, man. We've all met Scott. He's pretty fruity.
Yeah.
Gay circles, man. Gay circles.
Raspberry mint or die.
And there's something in the works right now. A lot of, I don't know. It works both ways. Some of the biggest compliments I've gotten, some of the biggest complaints that I've gotten about my liquids are that they're really subtle. Some people find them entirely too subtle. Some people love that. So I'm working on getting a system together where basically we're going to have our original recipe and our amped up versions, or amped liquids. And it's going to apply to all the base liquids, not the factions line. And basically it's just going to be a little bit of extra flavor.
Any price difference?
None. Okay. So even with more flavor, I'm not going to charge you for the extra shot. It's just going to be something else you can customize.
Nice.
Well, I mean, and these are drippers that are telling you that?
It's both, honestly. It's drippers, it's people running tanks, it's even people running Clearos.
I could see them in Clearos maybe being a little like drippers.
Well, I was almost late for the show because I went down to the local shop and I brought her some amped versions, and she fell in love with every one I had. And she's a dripper, and she runs a dual coil on a penny mod, and she enjoyed the amped versions more than the standard versions. So that will really kind of seal the deal of this is something I want to do to help make my liquids more accessible and enjoyable by all the vapors, as opposed to people who like subtle flavors.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Well, thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate you coming in, talk a little bit.
Of course, my absolute pleasure. Thank you guys again for having me back on the show. It's been way too long.
Love you
Yes.
quite so
Have a
much.
good one.
Thanks, man.
Love you guys. DB Liquid.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, bring him back. Bring him back just for that.
okay.
Come on,
He's
poor
back.
guy.
Thanks for that.
All right. I did one question. Mast, are you sure? Are you 100% certain that it's dbliquids.com?
Willy, 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 willy.
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, I
So-
can't wait for this next guy. This is gonna be good.
I gotta show off his product first, man. I've been saving this guy. The coolest thing that I saw while I was there was this. This was hands down the coolest fucking thing that I saw the entire
And we
time.
saw it while we were sitting outside, and Grim friggin' walks up with it.
Well, I saw it when it was originally given to Grim.
Hey,
Oh,
Sean,
I missed that right before that.
Yeah, I
Sean,
was.
do you not remember me telling you about that mod when he came into my shop like a
I
month ago?
don't remember you telling me about that mod, but I'm telling you right now that I'm turning this Fender 63 reverb pedal into one of them.
Increíble.
So we just had to have him on to talk about this thing. So without further ado, we have Eric here. Who needs to? There we go. Hi, Eric.
Chip chat.
What's up, Saint?
Nice.
Chip
My
light.
Chip Crown. King of the chip heads. What's going on, guys?
Buy him some cred, right, Ahmed?
What's up?
That flavor's got to buy him a little cred.
Oh, you like that?
No.
Come on.
Whatever. It's all good. What's up, guys?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you guys for having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, of course, dude. And again,
Let's get it out of the way, the accent, because you know it's gonna come up.
Are you from Boston?
Not Boston.
No, I'm not from Boston.
He's from Queens, man. He's legit.
Yeah, I'm legit.
Just tell me if something's really, really cool, is it wicked awesome?
No, not the freaking gay.
I gotta say though, man, that fucking mod, it is wicked awesome.
Does it have a name?
No, it does. You know what? I'll just call it the fucking boss, because that's what it is. It's the boss. That you have that the wand of Agamot that'll kill somebody, but I actually weighed it today for the first time. This is 2.6 pounds. This will kill someone.
Don't even care. Want one.
You want to talk about heavy mods, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. I got the heaviest. No.
I like the wand of Agamemnon. That's my favorite. So.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the staff is heavier, because the staff is that heavy without anything in it.
Yeah, which is
Without
kind of ridiculous. No, I love that thing, man. I picked it up at the DB Liquids thing. I was like, holy shit. Like, oh my god.
Wait,
I
do
was
that
like, stroking
do that
myself.
hand gesture again?
I'm all about having fun. I don't give a shit.
So I've told a few people that we were gonna have you on to talk a little bit today, and to talk about this thing. So let's talk about that first, and then I want to know about your first experience at a con, because you said it was your first time.
Oh yeah, it was. We drove down 10 hours. It was a very happy time. But yeah, let's get this out of the way.
Drop the tech specs on that thing for everybody, man.
5800 mAh battery. Shit. And XS350, 5 watts, 50 watts. Everybody should know this chip by now. If you don't.
You have not been watching the Plumes.
So yeah, no, I know, but still. Yeah, so 2 different ways to fire it. Side fire button if you're lazy like me. If not, and you want to be a fucking rock star and use your hand all day, which I'm pretty good at that. You just flip the toggle switch underneath there, and
Hold that up again and show everybody that internal piece.
yeah, all right. Now I don't have the top sheathing.
Raise your camera a little bit, or raise it. There we go. Tilt down.
That's gonna be covered, Sean.
It is gonna be.
Asking him to show it.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like I don't want people, because people in their fucking sticky hands. They're gonna get all up in there. They're gonna be like, "Let me switch it."
It's dark in there though, so you're fine.
Sean gets all wet when he sees that. He's like, "Oh, I want to see in it. Let me stick my fingers in it."
You're not wrong.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like I said, that goes out in the final mod. But yeah, I was just happy to get down there and happy that everybody loved it.
Did someone say they love this guy on Sons of Anarchy?
I get that shit all the time, dude. Everybody says I look like Ron Perlman. I swear I'm gonna dress up as fucking Hellboy and win a bunch of contests at Halloween. And I'm gonna win hands down.
You absolutely. You look like a skinny as Ron Perlman. That's how I do it.
I get told, I'm like, are you his son? I'm like, I wish. I'd be fucking set. I wouldn't be making mods. They'd be chilling.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
we mean Days of Our Harleys. That's correct.
Yeah.
Not Sons of Anarchy.
So yeah, that's pretty much the deal. Tonight, actually, I think my girlfriend's in chat, which you all guys met. When we were down there, went to dinner.
AKA the one that runs the business.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, she had info at the drop of a hat. She knew the mod of the battery. She knew the specs of the mod. She knew pricing. She knew the she gave you business cards, everything. He was just like, look, check out my mod, and she was on point. Yes.
I love that.
I will say, man, you'd probably be absolutely nothing without her right now.
You're right.
Yes, crazy.
Well, not just that. She's a good-looking chick. Everybody said it. I'm not like.
Well, actually, here's Sean. Ready? Yeah, and she's actually kind of hot.
Yeah, that was great. I thought that was.
I'm like,
I ain't gonna lie about it.
I can take a compliment, man. What the fuck?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, she's my backbone, no doubt about it. Like when I'm honestly, like you know the way it is, man. It's like when you're building something, and you're testing it, and like you're like, fuck, this sucks,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like, you're like, I want to take it and throw it against the wall, and then it's like she comes along, oh baby, it's okay,
Yep.
we'll make it happen, and then you're all good, you get right back to work, and then you get something like this, and then you're a happy camper. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So you rolled up and you gave one of those bad boys, the boss. Was it the boss?
The boss. Yeah, we'll call it boss.
You rolled up a boss to Grim, and Grim he vaped the hell out of that thing that day.
Yeah.
He loved that thing, it's cool as hell, though. Why wouldn't he?
He did. I was surprised he was walking around with it, because I was like, now I bought a camera case to put it on my side, because again, I'm a lazy fuck, and I'm like, I'm not carrying this all day. I'll pull it out when people want to see it. But he gripped it and just ran with it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man,
really cool.
you get mine built before fucking VaporCon, I'll take it to VaporCon. I'll vape it all day long.
All you have to do is ship it to me. I told you, man.
I'll send you the pedal. Don't worry.
Yeah, and you'll have it like within 3 days.
Oh no shit, goddamn.
Yeah, I have like this whole system put together that I plan on doing about 10 of them a week. We just actually probably went live right now on silversteamvapor.com. Plug. Yeah, we're doing 150 pre-order that are going to be out before Christmas. The whole list will be done and out, so people on the end of the list will have it before Christmas if they want to give them as gifts. And I'm going to start pumping them out, man. My life's going to be one big mod-making deal.
Let me ask you this: do you have a full-time job and you're doing this on the side, or are you able to spend full-time on this, or what's going on with that?
No, I work. Yeah, I do IT for an advertising agency in New York City, and so yeah, I'm all day helping people figure out how to type, essentially, and because nobody can do that. My password, I swear. I'm like, yeah, okay, idiot. So yeah, so I do that all day, and then I pretty much come home, and like I was telling you guys, like I love your show because while I was building this, it was Mod Monday. I would watch a show, sitting right where I'm sitting right now with my little tinkering around, doing my thing, and it was a pleasure, and honestly, to be well received at the con, and it was overwhelming going to a place like that, seeing so many people. When I walked down and I seen the line wrap around the escalator, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people here. Yeah. And I didn't get to make it the first day, which kind of sucks. I was stuck at work, but it was phenomenal, man. I had a great time.
I think that was that part of seeing the people going in. You're gonna think, holy cow, this is gonna be full. And for the amount of people, I'm gonna pull up. This is a 180 that we took of the convention center.
No,
this place was fucking huge.
And that's not even
huge.
That second little bend, that dog leg.
Right. Yeah. That's just one side. So you can imagine that, and then a whole nother area. I think because it was that big, that's the only way that people were able to enjoy themselves, because you weren't running into people. You had plenty of places to sit down at. Yep. You could go to a vendor booth and actually talk or look at something. You weren't waiting 10 minutes to get there. You could get there. I think it was phenomenal. I mean, that's what a lot of people did when they were outside and saw the line and they walked inside. They were like, wow. This is huge. So,
yeah, I was blown away by it, man. Honestly, like I was like in shock, and not just that, because I was there. It's my first con, and it's the first time I'm like debuting a mod. It was like super shock. I was just like, holy shit! My heart was like pumping out of my chest. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. It was really, it was
Dude, you were an
phenomenal.
excited son of a bitch that entire time. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and I was nervous too, because it's like that's a lot to take in, man. It's like getting on stage the first time you play with your band. Like you have all these songs ready, you're ready to go, and then like, oh shit, like I got to do this now. It's like, it was a cool time.
It was a fantastic time. Dinner was a lot of fun.
Thank you guys for asking me to come out. I appreciate that.
Oh, of course, man. It was a good time. You're a cool fucking dude. It was nice to get to hang out. Like,
Totally.
so he gives this mod to Grim, and I'm fucking around. I'm like, "Where's mine, man?"
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Dude, I love your show." I'm like, "But you built Nick a mod first. Thanks."
Well, yeah.
I'm not, dude. I ain't upset, man. So we both took a picture of this thing and we went to Instagram it. I said, I gotta throw this on Instagram right now, man. Get you some likes. And Grim's like, me too. Mine will get more likes.
That's yeah. What a exactly what he said. Oh, but you'll have a custom. It's yours. Like I don't know. That's
the pedal I've played, of course.
Yeah, and to me, that's like I mean, this is what I played. This was actually one of my first pedals. So I was like,
I was digging through stuff, and I have that pedal.
Yep, it was my first distortion
pedal. I
pedal.
sent you that pedal because I think everybody has that pedal.
Yeah,
everybody has that pedal.
Yeah, I just scrolled up in chat, and I'm guessing that they were talking about your girlfriend, and I saw, yeah, she's a cutie. Real talk, I'd pee in her butthole. What?
Wow, fuck you.
What is going on here?
Seriously, that was nasty. But
Project 2501, Project 2501.
Yeah,
that was an interesting.
Man, you said it yourself. You can take a compliment.
Yeah. Sorry.
He's not saying he would, or he's just saying he would. It's not that he was going to.
Yeah, right. Real talk.
Real talk. Yeah, that's real.
Hey, white people.
Yeah, that's a hashtag. And honestly, for record, Fu is right. He was the first one to actually see it. I went down, and that little skit that I did for you guys was because that was the interaction I had with him. We went there, and like the guy who was next to him, his coworker, was like, "You do a show?" And I was like dying hysterical. I'm like, "Yeah, he does a show." And he's like, "See, people know me," and I'm like, "This guy's like, what?" So
I think the best part was we were sitting on stage. There was nobody in there yet, and these girls come by, and they're like, "Look at that sign! That's awesome!" Break out the camera. They're taking a picture of it. Then they see us, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's you!" It was fucking hilarious. Like it's your beards up there.
I'll file that under I was sleeping for that one.
Yeah,
you were sleeping for that one.
Like I remember one person come by and taking a picture this time, but that whole like, huh?
We had that sign up all weekend. It was we had a 4-foot banner up all weekend over the stage. That was pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
That was a good time. We met a lot of fucking cool people. We met, this guy in here right now. We hung out with a lot of people that we knew.
I met him before that.
Well, you did. Yes. I immediately wanted to be his friend when I saw that mod.
Yes, you did. I walked right over and you were like, "Come here, let me give you a hug."
We're gonna be friends.
Yeah, we're gonna be friends.
I don't know if you saw, but somebody has actually already posted and read it with a picture of that mod. I assume grabbed from Grimm's page, asking about it.
Oh, sweet.
I've updated it and sent them your URL there.
Oh, thank you guys so much for the plug. Believe me, it's all I've been doing all day is working on the site to get it up to get people to be able to.
And I told you this before too, man. We seek out cool shit, and then we show people cool shit. That's our thing.
Oh yeah,
that's cool shit.
Well, so the thing that amazes me is you didn't know what you had. Like you were like surprised. You seemed genuinely surprised that people really like this thing. I'm like, dude, that thing's cool as shit. Like, I'm not even a musician, and that's cool as shit.
Well, my band liked it because they're in my band. But I was just like, when you walk around the street with something like this, testing it for like 3-4 weeks, people are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it's like it's worse. And I don't know how it is for Fu, but like I get looks all the time being in Midtown. Whenever I'm vaping, they're just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And I'm like,
if you're dripping and you're blowing decent sized clouds, you will. If you're just using an Ego or an MVP or something, they'll look and they'll just be like, "Look away."
Yeah, agree.
I mean, I drip all the time, so I do get looks.
Yeah, so it's kind of...
It's whatever. It's fucking New York.
Yeah, it is fucking New York. There's no doubt about that. And thank you so much, Sean, for Labrat liquids.
Yeah, there's another one.
I have not stopped dripping this since the minute I got the bottle, and
This
I'm
shit's
only,
good.
and I won't stop because I will definitely be hitting him up to make
Well,
sure.
that's the thing, man. Like, because you said you were vaping Epic's Apple Jacks, and Epic's Apple Jacks is not a bad juice. I used to hit it a long time ago, but it fucking pales in comparison to this stuff.
Yeah, not even a question. Like, I was just blown away. Like, as soon as I got in my dripper, I was like, yeah, this is not leaving my pocket until it's gone, and it hasn't left my pocket, and it's going to be gone. So there you go.
I wanted to, as we were talking, about the Vape Mania and stuff, I want to give a shout out to Fords, one of the guys that went up with us. He was working on his costume for the costume contest for weeks. I mean, almost 2 months. Just racking his head about who he was going to do and talking about getting a costume set up and everything. Every piece of his costume was handmade by his wife, girlfriend, woman. By his woman.
Her name is
Woman. And she did an amazing job. So kudos to them. And he wanted to win. He wanted to win. He put 100% up for it. And here's a picture of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, aka Fords, with his flag, with his 2x4, knee pads, boots, the shorts. It was honestly. Even if there would have been a lot more competition, I still think he would have won. He took first place, won $500. Awesome for the TVA guys, Chris and Mooch, to have that contest. And he scared so many people off that he was basically up there by himself. I mean, I'm telling you, people saw him. They said, "Oh, fuck this." I think I saw people, because the bathrooms were closed, and I think they went and changed, and they opened the door, and they saw him up on stage, and they said, "Forget it, I'm not going to win." And they just went back and changed because they were going to be ridiculed.
So we have him on stage going, "Ah!"
Yeah, he'd go, "Oh!"
I started our live show with video of him doing that.
Yeah,
on a YouTube recording, that's there.
It was awesome. I think congrats to him. I want to give him a shout out because he literally, if anyone deserved it, and he told me, he said, if I win that $500, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to DB Liquid's table, that's dbliquids.com, and buy a mini. And sure enough, he came back. He's sitting back there showing it off like this, and so that was another highlight.
He had the personality down too.
Oh, he did. Absolutely. He took time.
Top to bottom.
He took time to research Hacksaw and act like him and speak like him and all that. So, kudos to him.
So on the Vape Mania side too, we did this big thing on the show where we pulled up a whole bunch of different. Basically, anybody who was there who was a caster, anybody who has a show, anybody who does reviews, we pulled anybody who wanted to come up on stage to say thank you to them and for them to say thank you to everybody who watches. And I want to give another thank you to the League of Ordinary Vapors, Nuclear Vandalism, Grim Green, and the TVA show.
Yep.
And Jimmy
Individuals who came up on stage with us, shared that stage, and just fucking rocked the whole time they were there.
Shout out to Jimmy Johns. You got me full.
Oh, did I miss Vapor Joe? He came up with us too. Same shout out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Our theme that weekend was Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And I never could really push that.
Yeah, the TLDR is there's too much freaking vape drama out there, and it's stupid that we're all doing this infighting, passive aggressive bullshit, and we need to be working together. There's too much at stake here.
And everybody always needs to remember that there will always be someone out there trying to start shit amongst camps. Whether it's one or the other doesn't matter. You're always going to have someone out there who will go back and forth and try to start crap when none of it is true. And we have better things to worry about. The perfect example this weekend was the perfect example of how all these groups, all these people can get along together, sit down, have a vape, have a beer, whatever, and enjoy yourself, you know, and I think we saw that. That was awesome.
In the spirit of that, too, I was talking to Grim a little bit yesterday, and I think he's going to do a shirt design that's a crossover of Plumes of Hazard and Grim Green. Mm. We're going to do a limited run of those shirts, and we're going to give all the profit of that to a charity.
Ooh, are those going to be the black metal themed shirts?
They're going to be black metal themed.
Yes.
I think we're going with Grim Hazards right now. for a name.
Nice.
So we're gonna do a nice charity run and donate some money with a black metal themed shirt with him. So that'll be cool.
I would love that.
Yeah, I saw some names get thrown around that I thought was kind of
And
cool.
this all so I should probably say this all spawned from a picture, right?
Yeah.
This whole idea to do these shirts spawned from a picture, and it's a fucking cool ass picture. So let's.
Well, explain how the picture came about.
I'm going to, because I have to give credit to the person that the picture came from, which I've been really bad at doing. Mr. Chuff from Chuff Enough Vapes was wonderful enough to bring his camera and take a shit ton of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So he took this lovely, lovely fucking picture for us, and it got posted up in Vape Mania with a Name This Band.
Nice.
And then that spawned to, you guys should do a shirt. You guys should do a little bit of a crossover. And we decided, fuck, that sounds fun. So we're going to. But if you guys have a better name than Grim Hazards, let us know. Because, you know.
I like Brothers Grimm. That's something that TVA guys came up with. Mooch said Brothers Grimm. I like that one.
And that sounds a lot better than the green plumes, which sounds like Corey after a bad night at Taco Bell.
You know, speaking of Chuff and his picture taking skills, who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was that made me the. It was Project 2501. I was trying to make a paper airplane and not succeeding, and he made me a little freaking origami of this. I think it was the crane or whatever the hell it was, and this picture.
We fogged out that table.
We fogged the table out, and I had it sitting on top of my mod. And look at that. That fucking came out.
Wait, I think I see Sean in those clouds.
So, kudos to him for his picture-taking skills. So,
I mean, it was such a good time, man. It was, and you know, a big thanks to Mooch and Freeze and the TVA for having us out.
Absolutely.
A big thanks to all the casters, and a big thanks to all the people who came and watched our live show. And on top of that, I want to take a second because I think it kind of hit us this weekend that more people watched this show than what we thought. And I want to thank everybody who watches our show.
Yeah, for real.
Because, man, I never thought in the time period that we've been doing this that we would have the response that we've had.
No, I agree. And honestly, that's what makes all the effort and time and money that we sink into it. It makes it all worth it. If just one person out there is able to stop smoking because of this show, that's why I'm doing it. I know.
And you know, and a lot of people that were at the other convention actually wandered down there, and I think some actually got to try some stuff out and maybe possibly converted.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the kind of influence that you can have on that. That's amazing. You know, I remember even from some of the valet parkers and stuff like that. You know, it at least got people to ask about it. You know, what are you guys doing? Oh, vaping. You know, oh, what's going on? You know, all that stuff. I think that's great to get that dialogue going.
On that note, Scott, DB just said that some of the NA people actually came down and bought some of their pre-filled EVODs just to give them because they thought it might be badass. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, if any of you guys who watch have not had a chance to go to a con, if you get a chance, go. They're phenomenal experiences because all the hatred within the different groups that happens on the internet does not exist at these cons.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty fucking cool with each other, and everybody's nice. And there are phenomenally cool people that you will meet. There's so much stuff to see and do and people to talk to, and for the most part, everybody is so welcoming.
Yeah.
Great.
Which is cool.
Absolutely. Eric, one more time, what is your site?
SilversteinVapors.com. SILVERV. Yeah, wow. I'm retarded. There you go. SilversteinVapor.com. Please check it out. I appreciate
Vapor
it.
Vapor as in vapor or vapor?
Vapor. I'm trying to be fancy. Vapor.
Fair enough. And,
and for our UK viewers, there's no U in that.
It's other guy that we had on tonight is ScottBakerVapor.com.
Is my screen share showing up?
No.
I just see a URL.
I have to show everybody this.
I do not yet see it. If you want to link me, I can share it.
Yes, you share it. This is for ginger vapes in chat.
I feel like there was other stuff that I needed to talk about, but I don't.
We're already 38 minutes in.
We are a long way in. So anything that I missed, I can share later.
Sorry, y'all. I know y'all wanted to see some damn tech time, but we're over. So I promise a longer tech time next week.
We had a lot of stuff happen this week.
We did. What is? Look at that.
Wonderful relationships were made this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much photobombing was had.
Oh, much photobombing.
Look at that you see there that I'll never.
Wait, do you see the rare and never before seen or captured on film Minnesota vapes? Back in the background, look at that.
Yeah.
Back right.
He's got the shining eyes of a demon.
Yeah. He's back there checking everything out. It was awesome being able to see everybody.
Yeah, it was. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank everybody who has ever watched the show.
They're all my children.
We've been using that since line 1, and or since day 1. And
you are all Chewbacca's children, not mine. I can't afford more.
I can't afford you either. Shit.
It was wonderful to talk to people off the internet, and I look forward to doing it again. I also look forward to continuing to talk to everybody on the internet.
Certainly.
Yep. All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks guys for watching.
With that note.
You can trust me.
It's a fitting song. Oh, we're gonna get hit so hard.